Okay, before we move out, no Sanaki, no Solf. Kurthnaga is fine, because the enemies here won't attack him. And I think for now, yeah, that should be it. Let's fight some dragons. Before we do that, though, gonna switch animations back on. Right, now, I originally planned to get rid of these dragons before moving in further to the map. These two dragons aren't likely to really affect very much. I guess, yeah, okay. My plan here, because I actually have failed this chapter a couple of times now, my plan now is going to be to... Let me just check something. Can Rolf shoot stuff from here? Yes, he can. Okay. My plan now is going to be to just rush in. And by the way, your Dragon Tribe allies start with full transform gauges here. This is useless, but I guess I can show this off. Enemy dragons do not attack Ina and Kurthnaga in this chapter. So, you don't need to worry about counterattacks. You can grind on them for free experience, but not exactly a lot. Okay, let's see how we do this. I love Dragon Foe so much, but you have to remember that Dragon Foe doesn't work on Daginsia because he has a built-in Nile skill as part of Mantle. So, yeah, no Dragon Foe on him. I mean, you could bless a Wormslayer and use it on him, but I feel like that's a waste, personally, because it's that means you're stuck with a subpar bless weapon for the rest of Endgame. So yeah, my plan for the time being is going to be to... Actually, let's go ahead and go for a an Ina boost on someone who can potentially get a ton of attacks in one round. Well, there's one adept. And there's a critical. And also, we're showing a Londi for the first time. Yeah, my main goal here is just to break through these enemies as quickly as I can and reach Daginsia in the center. These dragons here are all ready to transform, but for some reason, the first turn they transform, they don't move. I guess they're following in the footsteps of their king there. Don't worry, you'll understand what that means soon enough. We're finally getting to the point where I can explain that meme. Okay, Wardwood is there. Probably rather have you there. Oh, and you have a support with Rolf. So that's kind of cool, I guess. This is also a chapter that I like to save Fortify for, because your entire party is going to take a ton of damage in a very short span of time. Fortify really, really helps. This chapter is definitely brutal, but I like that the enemies are a challenge even for a fully trained party, and I do find this chapter very fun, just beating a bunch of extremely overpowered enemies with our own extremely overpowered party. It also helps that you don't need to worry about where Leanne goes in this map. I could actually chant for Ike if I go there. And that is Wardwood too, nice. Unfortunately, this is just short of finishing you off, unless I crits or something. Please crit or something. Well, there's no or something, because there's nothing else you can do here except crit. Didn't give him a depth or anything like that. I definitely recommend, I was trying to say Ether on Ike, nope. I definitely recommend Nile on Ike for this chapter. You could potentially pose a threat, but for now I actually think maybe let's not do that. Okay, everyone these dragons here are in range of has 1 to 2 range, so let's not disrupt that. Who here has the worst defense? Let's transform Kurthnaga next to Edward, which will give him a, Oh, I removed Nighttide! Wow, I'm stupid. As long as I stay out of you guys' ranges on my mages, especially Micaiah, for very, 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 very good reason. I think I'll send Nisala... Don't exactly want to go send Nisala all the way in there, because like I said, 1 to 2 range. I kind of want you gone, but I also kind of want Jill to be up in the forefront of this chapter, because you do want all the damage you can take on Deginsia. 100 HP is a lot to eat through, especially with 50 defense and almost 50 resistance. Deginsia is statistically pretty scary. In practice, he's not that bad of a boss fight, but he is, again, statistically quite daunting to face. I don't mean the Daunt skill. Yeah, Aaron can't actually hurt Deginsia with his Blessed Weapon, so I might as well go down here and attempt to use him to stall the White Dragons. And yeah, Soren and Peleus will stay away from the red ones. Actually, I have an idea for Soren. Also, sad thing is, Peleus now has capped speed, and it's 1 point less than Soren's, even though he has a higher speed growth. Because mages in this game. Yeah, mages in this game, not exactly the greatest things in the world. Okay, I need to make sure Micaiah is protected, though. But I can finish you off with a Blizzard. Or basically just a giant hailstone at your head. I kind of prefer how Blizzard looked in the last game. And yes, I thought so. Something can actually get to him. Okay, and Micaiah's on cover, but even then she's... I may have to rescue her with Alincia this turn. Well, at least I can do this, though. Doesn't matter where your Heron goes in this chapter, just as long as they don't go too close to Deginsia. Because I guess I'll say it now, Deginsia has an AoE attack, and his AoE is, Oh, no, actually I do want Edward on the forefront here. He doesn't do much damage to Deginsia, but at least he can clear out Deginsia's minions pretty effectively. Don't really want Ike getting ganged up on, but... these enemies here don't exactly have the best hit rates in the world. Oh, you guys are on bad biorhythm, that's why your accuracy sucks against Edward. The good biorhythm dragons are actually kind of a major threat. I could use the Worm Slayer, but that would mean that you guys are more likely to gang up on him. Or I could trust Alondite to get some skills and crits. Okay then, I believe in Edward. Okay, Adept's good. That's good. Now I just need Ike to get in there. None of you have particularly high hit rates, which is good. However... oh, I do still have Micaiah's action here. So and Alincia, so I could still heal Ike. Yeah, I'm going to prioritize the whites because they do more damage than the majority of... nice one, Ike! That is excellent! And get used to Ether while you still can, because we're not going to be seeing Ether against Deginsia. And actually, get used to battle animations while you still can. This is one of the last chapters where generic enemies actually play battle animations. So, yeah. Like I said, get used to them while you still can. Okay, there are a lot more safe spots that Micaiah can go to now. But I don't even need to heal anyone with Micaiah this turn. I could set someone to high biorhythm, which actually might not be a bad idea. I can always hammer in this later. And thus, I reverse this game's most horrible mechanic and turn it in my favor. Herons can also do that, but yeah. Wait a minute, what can Peleus get hit by? Oh, you. Nah, one dragon hitting Peleus is really not bad. You, though... I think Soren can take one hit, but just to be safe, Let me quickly calculate. 56, and you have 15, so... Oh yeah, that's 41. Yeah, Soren can take one hit. Okay, I guess I'll try and show this, but, wow, yeah, the hit rate's terrible against the White Dragons. I'm pretty sure Silence does not work on White Dragons. Because their weapon is considered a magical strike effect rather than an actual, like, status problem. But I guess I can just do that, just for lols. Again, like, I'm not sure if Silence works on them or not, but I'm guessing it doesn't. Okay, now I just need to believe in the power of Ike's high biorhythm. Though a lot of these dragons, I'm pretty sure, follow in the footsteps of their king and don't move. Ike just needs to dodge a couple more and or ether the one adjacent to him. I would very much like an ether here. Please dodge this, Ike. Really? Well, ether's great. Ether's gonna ensure that he survives here. Ike hasn't really been ethering very much in this playthrough, but then again, yeah, ether's skill over 2% in this game, not skill percents. Okay, we do have a slight path into Diginsia, but I might need to rescue Staff Ina into range, because her movement's still pretty low, and you want to be using Blood Tide against Diginsia. Otherwise, your damage against him is just not going to do enough. Okay, she should be fine. Of course, Ina's also my smiter, and I would kind of like to smite Jill so that Jill can hit Diginsia with a parity-boosted Irvan. Now, of course, you go for the one who's equipping your staff. That's fine. In fact, that puts you in Resolve. So that's kind of nice. Except, please tell me that other white dragon is not in range. And yeah, you didn't attack, because they don't attack Kurthnaga. And I'm not too concerned about experience for my party at this point, because at this point, like I've said, it's much more effective to level up with bonus experience. This chapter, you really just want to finish Diginsia off as fast as you possibly can. And it's a lot easier with Rayson or Raphael, because then you get a 4-chan. And here it comes! So, here is Diginsia's AoE attack. This one will hit Heron, so don't put your Heron too close, but yeah, its damage dramatically peters out the further you are from him. However, Heron's is still pretty threatened by it, so again, okay, you went in a very bad spot. I really don't like you. Okay. Here's the question. Actually, Rolf is in range. Now, if I put you there... Okay. I kind of doubt that... Okay, I do have a potential chance there. Ina definitely can't get in range just yet. Maybe I should... Although these guys will all move to attack this turn. I don't know if I should be going for Diginsia now. It's probably a little risky to be doing that. I don't think I have enough people close to him. Oh, and Alondite doesn't do anything to Diginsia. It's a shame. I could attempt to trust in Edward's evade rate and try and clear out those white dragons with him. Nasir and Gareth thankfully don't move. But they do have buff skills, so you've got to be careful of other dragons going adjacent to them. Nasir's in particular because he gives +5 speed, though it's not like +5 speed will really help dragons double much. Can't get to any white dragons with Rolf here. But I can pick you off. It's better to leave attacking Diginsia until you can just surround him and overwhelm him in one turn. And I do need to make sure that Leanne doesn't get too close, because her HP is just barely enough to survive a decent hit from his AoE. Whoever tries to attack that white dragon is likely to get... Actually, no, I can attack that white dragon without getting Dickenseared in the face. That's an interesting verb. But it is true. Got Nethany close, which is good. The more, the better. I'm not going to say the more, the merrier, because that's a Sonic meme. Except I said it anyway. Okay. We now have a ton of red dragons near us. And a few white dragons also close. Okay, Nasala, I would very much appreciate you getting a strike rank up a bit, and yep, good tear, nice. That's one less red dragon near us. Yeah, if Nasala gets to an SS in strike, he could do a lot more damage to Dickenseared. Unfortunately, he's just barely not there yet for me. He needs just a little bit more. A little more. We've got a whole ton of dragons near us. In fact, I think I'm going to try and Wormslayer one of them. And he's standing on cover, so this Wormslayer still might not kill. But a deck is good. No cancel, though, but your hit rate against me is pathetic. And there we go, that's all I needed. And there's cancel, of course. I still think dragons look very cool in this game. Okay, that's gone. I really, really want that white dragon to die. Getting rid of the side dragons while slowly advancing down the center is the main aim of this. Once we get a whole bunch of people surrounding Dickenseared, he falls pretty quickly despite his massive stats. Especially if you have multiple Laguz Royals. Like, if you bring Nasala, Tiban, and Kanegas and Nyla, it's very easy to take him down in one turn. He's not a particularly hard boss if you do it that way. Like I said, Endgame is as easy or as hard as you want it to be, based on the Laguz Royals that you choose to bring. Do not want Leanne to go there, now that I think about it, because that would end very, very poorly for her. I can at least go for a cover attack on this guy, and actually not do enough damage. They both have the exact same amount of HP, unfortunately. So I kind of want Flare here. There we go! The animation was a little slower, so I thought that was Flare. This isn't going to one-shot, but the next attack will do it. Would have preferred Flare on the second hit, though, just in case Soren got attacked, and, like that, because Flare on the second hit would have healed him. Anyway... done well, this chapter actually is pretty short. Okay, you're gone, and you're not standing on cover, so I could Elinciate you, except I don't want to, because that might mean... I think I'm only... no, I'd be doubling you anyway, but... Actually, I'm gonna go for Arc Thunder. Hey, used for Thunder Magic, finally. Yeah, Ileana in this chapter is pretty fun, and it's pretty much the main reason to use her is to get her to bless Rexbolt. But another funny strategy you can potentially do here, that's actually a lot of healing. Another funny strategy you can potentially do in this chapter, except that put you out of Resolve. Actually, maybe Resolve on Sages is not a good idea in this game because of Flare. But anyway, yeah, another funny thing you can do is to bless Bolting and just hammer Dickenseared with that from a distance. I should probably just... No, in fact, I think I will save... Sort of... Yeah, whoever goes up there should probably be on Wardwood. sort of want Rolf here so he can snipe away at the white dragons and just try and get rid of a few of them before things get really, really dangerous. Which they always are when tons of white... Nice, nice ether. Even though it only healed for, Really? Well, at least I haven't used Fortify yet. Dragon's some of the few things that can survive ether. They cannot survive Eclipse, though. Not even Diginsia could survive Eclipse. Not even Ashura can survive Eclipse. And I do mean that literally. Because, yeah, she will actually get one-shotted by Eclipse. Spoilers, we will be fighting her eventually, but that's probably not much of a spoiler. Okay. I really, really want more of those white dragons gone, so... I wonder if Valencia is a bit fragile. Don't really want to send Nasala in there, actually, because of stuff. Might as well put you... Let's not smite Rolf. Wouldn't put him in range of Diginsia, but still. Might as well, though, just have... You might actually be out of... No, you're probably not out of range of Fortify. Kind of wondering who to chant for here. Nope, that's a bad idea. I think Jill's close enough, actually. Don't really want Jill to get any closer than she already is. Well, let's obviously put the Fortify here. I can probably hammer him this later. And then I suppose Leanne can chant for Nasala. Like I said, the main thing that worries me about this chapter not taking too long is that I won't get Nasala and Leanne to an A quickly enough. So Nasala can attack Diginsia now, but he doesn't do a lot of damage without Ina's help, so... Yeah, and I also... Wait a minute, you're... Yeah, the breath still says equipped and you still have an attack rating, which means that, obviously... Probably okay with Nasala going there, though. Like I said, I don't think Nasia moves. And Kurthnar can safely forge ahead. I probably should have given him Smite now that I think about it. Okay, if I can survive this turn... Well, proof positive that silence doesn't affect White Dragon Breath. Yikes, though. That's a high hit rate against Edward. I wish he had something like Ether or Soul, but no. That's not actually going to help against the White Dragons. Oh, they know they can potentially kill him. Please dodge this. Oh, are you serious? Well, he's in Wrath, but that's not really going to help since he doesn't have Vantage. Probably should have given Vantage to him now I think about it. Would have had a 40% Vantage rate. Yeah, that's something to consider if I fail this. And that's Night Tide. Please. Oh, I'm not confident in his chance of dodging. Well, that's one. Didn't expect those first two to hit him. That's not good. How many more White Dragons are there left up there? I think quite a lot. Oh boy. Oh, the chances of him surviving this turn are extremely minimal, but... Come on, good luck. Okay, one. Oh, my heart is like really, really pounding and I'm sweating right now. This is not good, and he's on Wardwood, by the way. You're just trolling me by not moving that White Dragon, aren't you? And here's where Nasala, being the most defensively fragile of the Lagoos Royals, comes into play. Please don't attack. Ah! You stupid troll, please dodge, please dodge. I know his luck's gonna run out eventually. Okay, his luck didn't run out then. Because he's just barely on, like, these hit rates are just barely on the cusp of, holy crap, wow. These hit rates are just barely on the cusp of, being lowered by true hit, so... They're pretty close to their actual displayed hit rate. Please tell me that last white dragon doesn't move, because if he does, I'm really annoyed. Oh, come on, Edward, you can dodge one more. Please dodge one more. Please dodge one more, I believe in you. Please, 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 please. Oh, no, no, no! You saved that move for last. Of course you would. Oh, please tell me this is not going to hit. Come on. Oh! I mean, technically speaking, like, even if this turn goes through, like, I don't deserve to have won this chapter because I shouldn't have risked that with Edward, but... And yeah, you guys follow after your king. They don't move. They transform, but they don't move. It's weird. And I still think, just to compose myself for a bit, if Deginsia does get into Heroes as a grand hero battle, which would be really cool, by the way, but if he did, I really think his title should be the Unmoving King. Because it actually fits him, it sounds cool, and it references that meme. So yeah, please, if you're listening, Fire Emblem Heroes developers, please give Deginsia, if Deginsia gets into Heroes, please call him the Unmoving King. Okay then. I actually kind of want Amy to go there. I'm gonna battle save here, not because I'm a coward, but because I want to show something silly with Leanne. It's a funny glitch that occurs in this chapter, and it's why I gave her a magic card. Firstly, though, every Heron has specific dialogue for talking to Deginsia. Okay, so we've seen that. Now, what happens if you try and use a magic card on him? Oh, did they fix that glitch in the European version? Maybe they did. Let me just quickly reset and see if the glitch is still present if I don't do the conversation. Okay, take two did not actually do that conversation. Now let's see what happens if I use a Spectre card on him. Oh wow, it's actually fixed! They actually fixed it in this version of the game. I just discovered something Serenae's Forest didn't know about. So, Serenae's Forest claims that if you have any of the Herons attack Deginsia with a magic card, you get empty text boxes in the conversation. What's supposed to happen is what's happening now, the same conversation that happens if you have them talk to him. Supports affect magic cards? Didn't know that. That is cool, wow, I discovered something. So yeah, I guess if anyone has the American version, they can demonstrate that, but apparently, in the early, I guess, non-patched, maybe later American copies have that fixed, but in the early American version, if you have a Heron attack Deginsia using a magic card, you get empty text boxes as the conversation. I do admit, a part of me is disappointed. I really wanted to joke about the empty text boxes. Insert lost for words pun here. But anyway, now it is time to take down the Dragon King himself, and while this is going to be completely ineffectual, I may as well show the boss dialogue. There's no risk to Ina, because he doesn't actually counterattack her. We didn't get to hear much of it there, but Deginsia's battle theme eventually does something really, really cool. First things first. Heal your countrymen, Peleus. Edward deserves a medal for what he just did. He is going to go down in history as a great hero of Dayan. After doing that, please tell me that Digincia still doesn't kill Edward, though. Well, actually, Edward does do solid damage. Yeah, it's sad when 5 damage against Digincia is considered solid damage, but yeah. Ah, even Wishblade does 10 times 2, which is actually more than... Okay, I guess first things first, I should attack with Masala so I can hit and then run and then get more people into range of Ina. Here it comes. Oh, by the way, this conversation's awesome, but also, Digincia's invisible skill that just says big or something like that, it means that the battle camera is different. That's what it does. It affects the camera in the battle. Don't sell yourself short, Nasala. You got pretty good accuracy against him. And here's Blood Tide. Nasala went under the floor there. Yes, the song eventually goes into Tranquility of Goldoa, and it's amazing. I love that so much. I want to give myself options for who I chant for, though. Because Ike does do 10 damage to him, backed by Ina. Firstly, though, let's go ahead and do this. And this is why I love using Marksman against Digincia. They can attack him without fear of reprisal, so they don't need to worry about using Nile. And speaking of Nile, let's get Jillian on this. Gonna have to use parity here, though. Otherwise, bad things will happen. Only 7 damage even with Ina's buff? Oh well. But yeah, again, making sure I'm using parity. Because otherwise, she could potentially just straight up die. There's parity. I love this battle theme. So he's almost halfway down. Don't think Elincia can actually hurt him, though. Sadly, none of Edward's amazing skills are going to help out here. Though actually... there's not really much of a spot that I can attack from that... I can't really shove Ina out of the way. You know what would be great is if I could actually chant for both Ike and... Methany. But I need them both to attack from there. I don't think there's any way that I can chant for them like that. But let's go for it. Farm girl from Crimea versus a dragon versus the king of dragons. Okay, that puts you down to 35. Ike attacking you from Ina's range will put you down to 15. And then Ike will get chanted for. Aaron can't quite get into range. We haven't actually seen Micaiah attack with, Rexaura, have we? I mean, there's a good reason for that. Oh, actually, that's not bad. Okay, like, if it comes to it, I'll show that, but for now... yeah, Ike needs to go here and do this. Of course, Ike gets a unique conversation. That is kind of true. However, Ike is still very, very strong. Okay, he's down to 15. This is so much easier if you have more Laguz Royals. Like I say, Endgame is really as easy or as hard as you want it to be, depending on how many of them you choose to bring. Okay, he's down to 15. Yeah, let me just show you the mistake I made in an earlier playthrough. That might look like it will kill Diginsia, but it's not blessed, so it won't. Don't make that mistake. Should I fortify now? I probably should fortify now. Then I'll probably need to hammer in that later. And Alincia gets another level. And she's actually capped on luck now, and strength, so her strength cap is pretty bad. Not enough to damage Diginsia, not even with the Ina buff. Okay. Actually can't get these two. Yeah, this is also much easier with, Can I have somebody shove? No, Aaron standing in front. Except I could just do this. Okay, Leanne can do that now, at least. And get Jill as like an insurance policy. I have an idea of how I want to do this. And I know it's blatant favoritism on my part. Also, yeah, here, Diginsia has to die this turn, otherwise his AoE is going to kill Leanne. She's a bit too close. Now, Ike over here does 5 times 2, which means I'll be able to use someone else in range of Ina to attack Diginsia. Yeah, he's in his tired animation already. He has almost fallen. I will say, Diginsia is actually a pretty satisfying boss fight. I've always said Fire Emblem, like, one of Fire Emblem's, like, as much as I love the Fire Emblem series, it's definitely not that strong in terms of the boss fight department. And yeah, I did promise that I'd show this. Usually bosses in Fire Emblem are just slightly stronger regular units. Funny thing is, this looks exactly the same as Valtome's Valor, except not purple. And usually final bosses end up being some of the easiest fights in Fire Emblem because they're weak to legendary weapons and you have a bunch of them. Many final bosses in Fire Emblem have been really disappointing, but Radiant Dawn, I feel like Radiant Dawn has some of the better final bosses in the series. That and the final boss of Revelation in Fates are probably the only two, like, endgame level bosses in Fire Emblem that I actually consider to be good boss fights. Ashnard's not bad, on hard mode at least, Ashnard's not bad. But I still think that, like, Diginsia is actually fairly challenging to fight. Like, without using Ina... I mean, Kanagas makes short work of him, but still. And again, make sure you do not kill Gareth or Nasir. Oh, Kurthnar can't quite get into... Yeah, he does have a boss conversation with his father, as you'd probably expect. Jill doesn't even need to kill anything, because she's capped out on level. There's not much I can do except get a little bit of extra staff experience for Soren. Fittingly healing Ike. And with that, make sure that I don't use the Worm Slayer. After what he just did, Edward deserves this. Even the Dragon King bows to his power. And this level up's not going to be very good. Actually, better than I expected. And with the king defeated, the rest of the Goldoan dragons are going to stand down. Which thankfully means that we didn't, because this was most of Goldoa's population. You can be a jerk and essentially commit genocide in this chapter if you want to, but no, don't do that. I would recommend just going straight for Daginsia and defeating him. Well, look who's awake. There isn't much to this dialogue that changes in the extended script, but Daginsia does say that he's happy to see her in that version, which I'm a little annoyed that got cut out. It was a very short line. Yeah, we know about this now. I like the way Yune treats him like an old friend, even though they were enemies before and they're enemies now. And this is the reason why Yune was referred to as a dark god. That entire thing was all Daginsia's doing. It was all his attempt to avoid the Bjork and the Laguz fighting. In a way, he was true from a metaphorical standpoint. Releasing the goddess inside the medallion would doom the world, but not because the goddess inside the medallion was evil. I wish we actually had those dragons backing us up as troops in the later chapters, but sadly no. We've got to do everything ourselves. So these two will join you, provided that they survive the chapter. Yeah, Nasir may have unintentionally almost caused the goddess to be released in the last war by going over to Dayan. He was just trying to save Rajion. Okay, now, this is a major extended script difference though, and I'm really annoyed that they lost this in this version. So, in the extended script, Daginsia he says a lot more to Ina here. He basically says, let me just quickly check the full thing. Yeah, he says, if the end of man does not come and there is a future, then I want you to live happily. My dear departed son would have wished for that as well. Another one of those parts that was lost in this script, which is annoying. Yes, well, it's finally time to do the one thing that Goldoa doesn't do and has avoided for years, moving. Warning. Hilarious voice acting incoming.
We must save them. Even now, as we speak, countless Laguz slaves endure Binyan chains. They suffer terribly.
We have done all that we will do.
Admonitions and censures change nothing. Now is the time for the dragon tribes to use their strength to save the oppressed Laguz.
Goldoa does not interfere with the outside world. As king of dragons, I will not allow my people to fan the flames of war. Conflict on the scale you describe will wake the goddess and call down her judgment upon us all. This is the path to destruction. 1,000 years. That is how long we swore to the goddess that there would be no war. Have you forgotten our covenant?
Of course not. Yet there are Laguz who are treated as less than livestock. I cannot believe that this is what the goddess wants.
Goldoa will not move. from the time our nations were formed. The goddess has not yet slept 150 years. Would you see the Laguz and Bjork destroyed? Would you see all of Tilius awash in blood? No. Unless destruction comes to seek us at our door, Goldoa will not move for the sake of future generations.
Tell me, do you care nothing for the Laguz who suffer in the current generation? Do you think it would comfort them to know that you condone their misery?
All things require sacrifice. Where are you going?
To Benyan. I will find a solution without you.
You who have lost your birthright? All you will accomplish is your own destruction. Hold! Hold, I say!
Nice ham there, Diginsia. Excellent ham. Yeah. And fun fact, he has the same voice as that other voice in that scene. That guy was actually talking to himself the whole time. So yeah, unintentionally hilarious voice acting, and that's why Goldoa will not move, and hold I say, are memes. Yeah. Diginsia, I see what they were going for with his voice, but... yeah, he definitely has one of the most so bad it's good voices in this game. Anyway, that scene's slightly longer in the extended script, actually. It's one of the few flashbacks that gets modified a bit. Basically, Diginsia says that even though the Laguz are enslaved, they're still alive, so we're not going to do anything. And he also says that in the past, there were periods where the Laguz dominated the Bjork. They talk about that in some support conversations in the last game, so a bit of an allusion to that. And one other significant detail, the other voice, who we still aren't supposed to know who it is, but it should be obvious by now, in the extended script he says, Altina and Soan are no longer with us, so we are the only ones left who can directly speak with the goddess. That's actually interesting, but we don't get that in this version of the script. And... it turns out Diginsia actually pulled a Dixon on us. And that has gameplay implications. Kurthnaga now gets form shifts. So, now that we've defeated the King of the Dragon Tribe, we've still got a bit further to go in Endgame, because there are a few more loose ends that we need to clear up. It's finally time to resolve the mystery of those memories, find out just whose they are, and what that means for the world. So, I will see you then. I forgot to mention this in the video itself, but that one thing that I feel maybe explains Diginsia's actions a bit. My personal headcanon is that Diginsia was committing suicide by cop here, as a way to atone both for distorting history and painting Yune as a dark god, and for doing nothing while all those Laguz suffered. Some of his battle quotes do imply this slightly. There's the fact that he outright orders Ina to fight against him and protect Kurthnaga, and especially his boss dialogue with Micaiah, where Diginsia says, I have been alive for a very long time, perhaps too long, but soon it will all be over. So, silence, not exactly a problem, and in fact, if Edward kills this dragon, I'm actually happy that he didn't crit or activate skills there, because then the red dragon would have attacked him and then he probably would have died. Yeah, this chapter is all about making sure you know about cover and wardwood and how they work, because if you don't, then you're kind of going to get slaughtered here. Oh, a second one could attack him. Crap. Well, I was bound to fail this chapter at least once. So hopefully Lan should be fine, because I'm pretty positive the Ginser is going to AoE this turn. I like that they gave bosses AoE attacks for Endgame, though. It's really cool. It's like, I've always felt that, like, as much as I love the Fire Emblem series, bosses have always been an area that it's never been particularly strong in. Usually bosses are just slightly souped up regular units that aren't really that challenging. And even the final bosses tend to just die in a few turns of legendary weapons. The final bosses are often some of the easiest enemies in their respective games. Because again, legendary weapons usually are effective against them. I recently found out that in Smash 4 there's and yeah, despite having wings, he doesn't have Kanto. There's a spirit battle for Ashnod, and it's Ganondorf and a Black Charizard, which I think is actually really cool, because I find that in this game, I've always thought Black Dragons, as I've said many times before, look a lot like shiny Charizards. In fact, I actually do have a shiny Charizard nicknamed Kurthnaga in one of my Pokemon games. Not actually mine, though, I got it in a trade. Never actually had a legitimate shiny Charmander. I've had quite a few legitimate shinies, but, yeah. So now I just need to hope that Daginsia's inevitable AoE does not kill Leanne. Yep, here it is. Every boss is a one-liner before unleashing their AoE. Yeah, Ike was the closest and he only took 13. He is on cover, though. Oh, yikes, wow. That was closer than I thought it would be. But yeah, that's the one thing on the map that actually affects her. Hi there, Gareth. I don't think Ether will kill you. Gareth does actually look pretty cool up close. I say that here because, yeah, once he's recruited, you still rarely get to see Gareth actually attack. Oh, Daginsia is so close. If only Jill was a little bit closer, or Aaron could get smited. Oh, and he does recover every turn. Interesting. If it weren't for your healing, you actually would have died to that, but... yeah. That mantle healing effect. Didn't have that effect in Path of Radiance. Uh-oh. Well, getting killed by Gareth would be embarrassing. Actually, an Ether there would have been pretty funny, because Ike would have fully healed himself. Well, would have healed himself quite a bit. I think we're kind of done here. Oh, yeah, and because Nasir's in range of you, and that gives you +5 speed. No, we are lucking out, a little bit at least. I doubt it will last much longer, though. That came very, very close. Very, very close. There it is. You know, I think this is the first time I'm showing this. Every single chapter has different dialogue for the main character dying, including all endgames, and in some of them, the boss themselves actually taunts you for it. That was not one of them.